This is my quarter four portfolio. I did my op-ed on disability. I just wanted to say that because I kind of referenced it a couple times in this. Generating ideas. My main way to generate ideas is go off of what stood out to me while I was reading. So, for example, when Malcolm was talking about being hypersexual and everything, but was lying, I knew that stood out to me and I thought it was weird, but I didn't know exactly what to say about it. So, how I kind of figured out what to put as it was seeing what I needed another annotation of, and that happened to be a connection. So, I thought about how that connected to a movie or anything. Identity. I think about my race, age, and gender most often. I think about my national origin the least. I would like to learn about my national origins. So that's like for me, ancestors and where my ancestors come from. I pay the most attention to my emotional, physical, and developmental abilities. Um, my essay, my op-ed, enlightened me about this topic because I didn't realize how hard it was to not have a disability that affects me as bad as others would. And so like anything that I have, it's like low key. And because I know it's really hard. And my race, gender, and age have the biggest effect on how people perceive me. So I think race and gender is what people see, but age is what people pay attention to when they actually know me. Um, I learned that I'm not the only person in my age group who likes to talk about social issues. So that's age, my socioeconomic status. I wouldn't like sitting at a table based on your ranks, but they mentioned that in Macbeth. And I learned that I'm an empathetic person based on a part in Shadow Shaper. Positionality. I talked about how I enjoy thematic and social issues. So this was strengthened in my op-ed because I learned even more and I can be compassionate and whatnot about people's situations. And it was also strengthened when I practiced just being the voice of reason in Macbeth. But also in Macbeth, I immediately judged him, and that's how I was challenged. So I was just like, Macbeth is this terrible person, but I didn't think about he hasn't always been like this, what got him here, and thinking about his backstory, which I said I would do in my op-ed. So that's how that was challenged. I learned a lot from Imani. No, I didn't learn. I related a lot to Imani from Fire on High because she's close with her grandmother and I'm close to mine. But when I'm not able to find a relationship that easy, I usually go off of a connection and then find the relationship. Identity has been the hardest to master because I know myself well, so it's hard to come up with something new each time. So what I have been able to do is find something I realized about myself and just put myself in the character's shoes. So something is Maya and Grace were arguing, and I have a sister too, so I'm like, well, I would never beg my sister to talk to me, and I would just be petty about it. So that's what I realized about myself. Some of the most transformative information has been in my op-ed and in Far From the Tree. So I learned that you can put a baby back and that white babies are more expensive. I didn't know that, and it's caused me to be more compassionate because there's so many opportunities for somebody to be oppressed. So I learned that. Criticality taught me how one situation can be super dynamic and affect up to like 3 parties or even more because the company towns, for example, in Parable of the Sower, whoever runs them, whoever funds them, they get something involving money out of it and they get more power and they get all these amazing feelings, and it is equitable for the people who go there because they don't have to starve and they get shelter, but then they're oppressed because they have to slave away and kind of do labor. So I'm most proud of my Macbeth annotations. I think I wrote quality annotations, and they actually taught me how to analyze during writing and not just wait till after. Um, so what has helped me while doing the annotations was the pens. I like organize them a certain way so that I know how many annotations I have left for each color, and color coding it. That helped me organize and everything very well. And I think I did. I'm proud of the annotations. I think I did well. My biggest struggle is the PVAs. I think I'm really inconsistent with them, and I can get a better understanding. Um, Back in December when we took our PBA, I got a 647, which I think was my highest grade ever on a PBA. But then I got my lowest grade ever on PBA like just 2 weeks ago. So I know I know that prompts are different, but I do think that I can get much more consistent and get a better understanding of it. How I've learned best by asking questions and using the material I get on Google Classroom and in class. So material is like the slideshows on Google Classroom and any other like paper documents and rubrics. Rubrics has been a big thing for me. And practice is one of the biggest things because if I practice, then I can go ask questions for what I don't understand. Utilizing self-reflection. I got better with making higher order questions because that's one of the things I wanted to do in my last cover letter. And they're on the way to where I really want them. My cover letters have been very similar, so I have done well with utilizing what they said because I know if I said the same thing months apart, it's something I should really do. But some of it I've also forgotten. But I do think I've gotten better. If I would have had a little more time in the fourth quarter and just like been able to relax a little more because it's been kind of stressful because of finals and everything, I definitely think this would have been like a really successful quarter for me with using that reflection. Sophomore year goals, I want to work on time management so I can read the rubric and ask questions and everything, as opposed to when I just do it the day before and then there's no time to ask questions. Practice whenever I need to do something because I got 85 when I didn't practice something that I had just gotten like hundreds on, like a week before. And maintain a B in English because I have a 93 right now, and that's the highest grade I've ever gotten. I usually get like a B or a C. So I know that with all the things I've learned in this year and being able to get an A, I can definitely maintain a B in English 10. And that's it.